Hey guys, I thought I'd get on here and something I'm going to be doing a little bit more. It's kind of talking because I've been getting a lot of questions lately. People asking me about my background and what I do, and some people that are a little confused. Why I started doing this as opposed to what I used to do, which was like literally just concentrate on being an independent filmmaker, which I still am. I'm still an independent filmmaker. I still have, I've got projects, personal projects that are in the works and that you'll most definitely be hearing more about soon. But I've kind of shifted the way that I earn a living. It used to be, let's see, I'm 46. I've been in the film business since I was 18. I started out as an assistant, as a PA, did a lot of commercials, and then I got into the art department. I did a lot of set building. I did a lot of set dressing in both the, advertising, entertainment, and photography worlds. Um, Union. I'd never personally never joined a union, but I was always working on unionized commercials as an assistant, as a PA. I did that for a very, very, very long time until I started to kind of rise in the business myself. But in the meantime, I was always concentrating on making my own work. I was always making my own work. Started out making short films and then, little things here and there. And then found a subject, Tomi Fujiyama, the first Japanese person to ever be on the Grand Ole Opry, and decided I was going to make a documentary feature about her. And I did. And that movie got into a major film festival, South by Southwest, but it took me 11 years to get there. I didn't know that when I started on that film, I didn't know I was going to be spending 11 years of my life doing that, working on that specific project. But that's kind of what happened. And in the meantime, I would still do other things to make a living, but it's always been inside the movie business or the advertising business, the professional world of entertainment creation, advertising creation, or photography. And then, I did get I got that film made in Japan, is what it was called. I got that into a film festival. And then I did another movie called The Dwarvenaut, which is a very different kind of subject matter. It's about in the meantime, a very good friend of mine named Stefan Pokorny, and it's about Dungeons and Dragons. It's about Stefan and the contributions and beautiful artistic creations that he's provided to the world. And I was really fortunate to have met him, and he's been such an amazing support in my life. We got that movie in the South by Southwest the following years, 2015, 2016. All of a sudden, my dreams had come true. I had two movies that were being received very well on the film festival circuit, and that lasted for like 3 years. Like, I didn't have to do a job. I was somehow achieved the dream of becoming a professional director. Stefan and I have been concentrating for years on trying to create a show. And we've almost gotten there a couple times, and then, circumstances happen, you get shut down. It's just the way that the movie business works, or the entertainment business works. It's a very difficult thing to do. Not a lot of people do it. That's why. Not a lot of people do this. Is because your dreams, you're constantly going on a hope and a prayer, and every now and again you might find a pot of gold. It's a hard way to make a living. But regardless, I've had other various projects come and go, and things that I've done and continue to do. But personally, I decided that I no longer wanted to wait around. I'm no longer waiting for some gatekeeper to get out of the way so that someone at Netflix will give me the money to finance one of my projects, or any variation of that. I think I've had to come to terms with the fact that I personally have always been very do-it-yourself oriented, very independent-minded oriented, very punk rock oriented, like very anti-Hollywood. I don't need the system. You know, I'm cool enough to where my thing is just going to work out. But I've always relied on, but you know what, someday someone's going to give me money to be able to do my thing. And I've never actually fully taken the bull by the horns and said, like, no, I'm going to live this DIY thing to the fullest. And I'm going to actually practice what I preach. Somehow, I have been able to, I've gotten things financed. I have gotten things financed in specific ways, which I'm not going to fully go into right now. But this past, I'd say 5 years, I've really been stuck in this hole of like just sitting, waiting around for someone else to come and give me permission, basically, is what it really comes down to make my own stuff. And I'm done with that. I don't have to do that anymore. And thank God, the internet's a blessing and a curse. In that, we're really seeing that right now. Like the film business is changing. Things are changing. Everything is flipped, turned upside down right now. No one really knows what the next model is going to be. Everything's changing so fast. AI this, AI that. It's all a big freaking mess. And that's made a career that was already incredibly difficult even more difficult. How the hell, like, no one's taking meetings right now. How the hell am I going to get into pitch a show right now? It's just not happening. No one cares. They want famous everything. They want famous director, famous actor, famous producer. They want fame. They want to make sure that whatever they're putting money into is going to make money back. You can't blame them, but at the same time, it makes it incredibly difficult for artists to achieve to have a shot at something that was already difficult to have a shot at. Anyway, that being said, the reason why I kind of started doing this Instagram ads thing is because, you know what? I'm in control. And not only that, my skills that I've sharpened and crafted over the past plus 20 years, over 20 years of my life, I can use those to help other people, and not just me. I can actually I'm an incredibly talented storyteller, and I can say that non-arrogantly. I'm not being arrogant when I say that. It's like, no, that's what I know how to do. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at documentary storytelling. I'm good at helping people tell their own story. I know how to do that. It's a gift. And why not be able to use that skill to help other people? And I worked in advertising as an assistant, commercials, advertising. It's all that kind of crap is stuff that I've stayed away from my whole life, because I didn't want to have anything to do with Ogilvy and Mather or with Saatchi or learning how to direct, Coca-Cola commercial. All that stuff felt so like the opposite of who I actually am as a human being. And advertising execs are literally some of the worst people on the face of the earth, as are some of the clients that you deal with, and producers that you deal with in that world, and the way that world is set up. It was just always so disgusting to me as a PA or as an assistant early on in my career. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. So advertising has always been very much the opposite of what I wanted with my life. So when this Instagram ads stuff started to kind of get on my radar, at first I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to act. I don't want to be on Instagram acting like I'm an expert on, stuff that I frankly don't know anything about, or I don't want to sound that way anyway. Like, I don't want to sound like I know something that I don't actually know about, because it's inauthentic. Authenticity has always played a huge role in my life. Like, if something, the moment that something seems inauthentic, or someone seems like they're talking about some crap and they don't know what the hell they're talking about, then it just turns me off. And I think that, we see a lot of that on Instagram these days. We see a lot of that on the internet. Like, with the rise of social media, all of a sudden everyone's an expert. But what I came to understand is again, coming back to this, like, helping other people, there's actually something that's very much in line with my own personal values. Self-distribution. This is amazing. I can create something and I can self-distribute it. Helping others. I believe that we can help each other, especially in a world that's as divided as it is now. And in a world that's like totally gone crazy. Like what the hell is even up anymore? I was gonna drop an F-bomb, but I'm gonna try not to drop F-bombs in this kind of content. It's like professional wrestling. It's like the good versus the bad always. Anytime I turn on the news, it's like, oh, okay. Oh, there's that crazy thing. Oh, there's that scary crap. Okay, what have they done now? Okay, what's happening today? Everything's awful. We're at a time now where we need to be using every single tool that we have to help ourselves, but also to help each other. We don't have to, at a time where it seems like it would be normal to become incredibly selfish and only think about ourselves. Now's a great time to also realize that, like, the way out of this crap is by helping each other and by maybe uniting, as opposed to just constantly pointing out the rights and wrongs of, whatever our perceived other side is. The opposite of, we're very polarized right now. So whatever the opposite is of what you are right now, what I've come to learn is what, there's value on both sides. And I don't mean that in a political sense, like one side is right or one side is wrong. What I mean is there's things to be learned from each other on both sides of the aisle. And I can do that. In order to do business with someone, I don't have to align completely 100% with all of their beliefs. But at its core, you can find common ground with anyone. And just because someone believes differently than me doesn't mean that I can't be there to help them, and vice versa. So, with all of that being said, I find this new model, this new thing, this new Instagram ads venture that I've been kind of chasing now for a couple months. And I think some of you guys who actually know who I am have been wondering, what the hell is he even doing? Well, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm using my skills and kind of combining them with my ethos, my DIY kind of punk rock ethos. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. It's like, I'm doing it myself. And I think that anyone can do this. And hopefully more people will, because the more people who do this and the more people who take the power into their own hands, the more people who learn the skills to take care of themselves and not have to rely on larger companies to help them out, or larger sums of money, to help them out. That's how we're going to get out of this malaise. And the more people who can do this, the more money is being created, the more options we're being presented with. I think a lot of the problem that we're seeing today is people are running into this thing where it's like they don't have any options anymore. I don't see a way to market myself. I don't see a way to distribute my movies. I don't see a way to get more customers without having to spend huge amounts of money to advertise. But the fact of the matter is we have all the tools. They're all here. It's just coming up with the right strategy, following that strategy, figuring out what that strategy is for whatever business that we own, that we run. Personally, for me, as a filmmaker, it's this internet stuff has always been something that I've been very weary of, because this isn't where I want my movies to be. I don't want my movies to be on someone's phone. I don't want them to be on YouTube. But now I've started to see, okay, there's models now. There's ways to make things sustainable. In a way, we're kind of back at where we were early on in the early days of independent filmmaking. So people had to figure out how to market that then, and how do you do that? How do you make money off of this thing? Well, we have the tools. They're right here, and you can literally use them for anything that you do. There's a way to do it now. So, creating ads for local businesses, that's a model and a strategy that I've learned and have become quite good at. But I continue to use that model to kind of try and get my mind going. Okay, well, how could I apply this to other things? How could I apply this to someone who's a little bit more entertainment focused, like myself? How could I apply this to an independent film? How could I apply this to an independent series? There's ways. So anyway, yeah. So if anyone's wondering, from my people who know me from my filmmaking days, if anyone's wondering what the hell I've been up to, that's kind of what I've been up to. And if anyone, who doesn't know me and just kind of has seen my ad and has seen and make this kind of content and is wondering what I'm about, this is what I'm about. I'm about, at my core, I'm about authentic human beings, authentic relationships. I believe we can help each other, helping each other with our skills and with our knowledge. Taking control of your own life, doing things yourself, because we don't need all those gatekeepers anymore. We just don't. There's a way around it. So anyway, that's kind of what I thought I'd talk about today. And yeah, you'll be hearing me and seeing me more, because I'm going to start doing this. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys.